Morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the special board meeting of the Newark Unified School Board of Education on Monday, July 8th. Roll call.
President Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice President Thomas.
Here.
Member Martinez.
Here.
Member Gutierrez. Member John.
Here. Okay, great. So we have 4 out of the 5 board members. Thank you, everyone, for attending. We normally don't have summer meetings until the beginning of school, so I appreciate this. Approval of the agenda.
President Rodriguez, we have an amendment.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let Ms. Saavedra make the amendment.
Yes. There's an, I'm sorry, my,
Yeah, the speaker.
Specifically 5.1.
yes,
Okay.
5.1, I'd like to amend the language, referring to only unit members that are currently employed by the district on the day for ratification of July 8, 2019 will be compensated by 1% on schedule to be retroactive to July 1st, 2018. That was not negotiated, so I would like to amend the agenda and remove that language.
Okay. Can you repeat what item that is, please?
It's item 5.1, AB 1200, disclosure for CSA agreement for 2018-2019.
Okay.
It is the third.
No, I'm looking at it. Thank you. So with that amendment, I need a motion to, unless someone else wants to address the agenda, to accept the agenda.
Point of order, President Rodriguez, you have a speaker with regards to the agenda, public speaker.
You do it
Sure.
first. Let's do it first.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I didn't notice it until I'll just.
No, that's okay.
It doesn't show you reporting out of closed session on here at all.
Because this,
Just so that you know, I mean, like, there's nothing.
No, we can add that on now. Thank you. Appreciate it. So,
it is because those 2 items are in open session as your new business, so I did not do a report out of closed because it's the identical items in which you will be reporting
right.
what you did in the same.
Well, we can add that on.
I
Maybe
can
it's
add that.
duplication, but that's fine.
Sure, I can amend it, thank you.
Thank you. So with those 2 changes, I need a motion and a second. So we got the amendment for 5.1, and after closed session, we're going to report out before we do the pledge. I mean, right after the pledge.
I move approval of the agenda.
I second. Please vote. Okay. Oh, yeah. All present, yes. Member Gutierrez, absent. Okay, with that, public comment on closed session items. Do we have anybody? Okay. Okay, with that, we go to closed session at 11:06.
Superintendent,
Yes.
do you want to remind the board where your closed session?
We're going to have to do closed session in my office because they're doing a repair in the room back here. So we'll just
Okay.
walk over to my conference room, please.
It's 11:25, we're coming back from closed session. Member Gutierrez joined us. Can you note that, Mr. Kino, please? Okay, can we do the pledge, please? Look at all these good-looking young people here. And that means all of you, right? Would anyone want to help us with the pledge?
Student?
Looks like he's ready.
Turn around this way. Okay, salute. Look at ready. Say ready, salute. Slide.
Untitled.
Untitled. So there.
Okay, in closed session, the superintendent brought forward the candidate for the principal at Lincoln Elementary and also the candidate for the principal at New Memorial High School. And both of those positions or items are going to be on open session. Okay, so next we have public comment on non-agenda items. Member Thomas? Or in this case, community member Nancy Thomas wants to talk during this time. Okay, can you put the time on for me?
As soon
If
as
you
she
don't mind,
starts to
thank you.
speak.
She knows how much time she
I
has.
Okay, it's with a heavy heart that I stand before you. I think we can all agree that when the public voted us into office, it was with the expectation that we operate in an open, ethical, and transparent manner in everything we do. I think it is time to unite to address a pattern of issues that have been handled incorrectly. I have two documents for the board president. The first is a cure and correct from violating the Ralph M. Brown Act, and the second is a cease and desist from practices violating the Ralph M. Brown Act. These are official notices requiring our responses. The cure and correct deals with the decision and vote in closed session to extend the superintendent's contract for 1 year that should not have been acted on because it was not correctly placed on the agenda and was incorrectly reported out after closed session. The cease and desist deals with 4 examples that show a pattern of violating meeting notice and reporting requirements. The first example is from February 7th, when we approved increases for the superintendent and CDO without realizing it because their salary increases were hidden among 7 pages of new salary schedules. In addition, oral reporting requirements were not followed, nor were contract ratification requirements. The second is from January 17. This item was pulled from the agenda after I pointed out multiple issues, including an insufficient agenda description and lack of transparency regarding position descriptions that would have resulted in non-disclosed salary increases and retroactive pay. The third involved a premature placement on the agenda and confusing information regarding the superintendent's contract. The superintendent's contract should never be placed on the agenda until and unless an agreement is reached, and this involves negotiations between the board and the superintendent, with the board president acting as our negotiator. The fourth involves today's agenda item entitled Classified Management Confidential 260 Workday. I believe it is insufficiently described and includes 2 disparate and distinct action items that should have and should be on 2 separate agenda items. The first involves how we plan to comply with government code and CalPERS requirements, and the second is for a recommended 70% salary increase for the specified employees. Thank you.
Okay, thank you much. So that'll be turned over to legal so they can look at that, okay? And then prepare a response.
I'll pass it on.
Another non-agenda.
We have one more non-agenda comment.
Ms. Momberg?
Sure.
First, I want to say thank you for all the years. My children went to school here. My children had a great education. My grandson at the high school, however, last year, he was failed upon miserably. We are now moving, so it's with a heavy heart that I say goodbye. I am pulling my children from the school district to selling my home because at Lincoln, yes, we became one of the top 51, but we did that because of our parents. Our parents worked their butts off to earn the money to buy the things that the kids needed to improve their schooling. Without that, we would not have become one of the top 51. We have some of the best teachers at Lincoln, and I hope that our next principal at Lincoln is better than our last. Sorry, I was not a fan of her. My granddaughter, from 3rd grade on, she was going in 6th, was sexually harassed at school every year, and something that was said to her by the principal last year, I didn't learn about until I was an adult. And my granddaughter came home and asked me this question about how something was sexual harassment that the girls did, and I wasn't going to answer it because I didn't know about it until I was an adult, and she's 5th grade. No way should have ever been said to her. But nobody ever came out to the school to investigate what was happening. And we followed the rules. But I just want to say thank you for my kids, Christine and Donald, who both graduated in 99 and 2001 with an absolute wonderful education. And thank you to the Lincoln family for everything you guys have done for everybody. I'm going to miss Newark. I'm moving to Arizona, to the top district in the state. So, you know, I'm sorry, but guys, please get your act together. Put the kids first. It is about the kids. The adult crap needs to stop, and we need to figure out ways to get everything for the children. Because the children are the ones who need it. Without us doing our job now, we will never have a set of people who can sit here like this and run a school district because our kids are not getting the education they need. Put the kids first from here on out, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, seeing none, no other requests. We move to 5.1, AB 1200. Superintendent?
Jessica, you want
Check.
to, is there a public comment on this one? That we were, okay.
No, not that I see.
The recommended action, staff recommends that the board approve the AB 1200 disclosures as it relates to the 2018-2019 contract amendment between Newark Unified School District and the California School Employee Association, ratified by the board on June 19, 2019.
Okay, so we have this item on the agenda for action. To approve AB 1200 disclosures as it relates to the 2018-2019 contract with U.S. School District and California School Employees Association. Okay, questions, discussion? Okay, I need a motion then in a second, please.
I move approval.
Member Thomas moves approval.
I second.
Member Martinez seconds. Please vote. School, a high school member, the student member can vote on this.
Oh, I don't have a,
Yeah, I know, I apologize.
It's personnel.
Okay, okay, it's personnel? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. That's true, it is. Okay. So motion passes unanimously, thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, Sue.
Post approval, anyone want to say anything? Oh, this would be your CSEA minutes that you normally get, that we forgot to put on there.
Okay, I just want to thank you. I appreciate it. This morning we had a question on what was presented and it was corrected. And I really want to thank you for correcting it. It was really important for me personally to go to you and be able to say a mistake appears to have been made and you said yes. So thank you very much, Jessica. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, with that we move to new business.
is there any public comment on this one, Shar?
I believe I handed everything in.
Yeah, I have it, hold on. Ms. Parks?
Good morning. The agenda item says classified management confidential 260 Workday. Under recommended action, staff recommends approval of changing salary schedules, currently 224 per diem schedules, to 260-day annual schedules. Number 2, adding 16 holidays at existing per diem rate. Number 3, auditing and adjusting 18-19 vacation time and reestablishing cap at 30 days paid out. Based on the first recommendation on the salary schedule, the Workday calendar box just needs to be changed from 224 to 260, which corresponds with the agenda item listed. However, when you read the second recommendation, adding 16 holidays at existing per diem rate, you've just authorized a substantial pay increase for certain individuals. Did I miss that on the agenda item title? Auditing and adjusting 18-19 vacation time and reestablishing cap at 30 days paid out. There isn't enough information here for me to even determine what this means. I say that because the attached documents are riddled with inconsistent information. On the attached item called write-up, when addressing the incorrect information for the service credit under issues, it states, retroactive, these errors have been corrected for all current employees. However, errors would continue to occur as long as the work calendar is incorrect. Does this mean that previous employees will still have incorrect service credit? At the bottom of the same page, the chart says a proposed and current workday schedule. Under the current workday schedule, it says that there's 0 paid and 0 unpaid holiday, or 0 unpaid and 0 unpaid vacation and holidays. Yet you're saying that you're going to make them get paid vacation, but your employees have been paid for vacation because on the chart that follows, it shows cash payouts. Just below that vacation time chart, it says that on August 2017, these employees were notified that this change to a 260-day calendar was pending. If this has been going on for 2 years, why is it coming to the board now at this special meeting in July? Is there backup supporting document from CalPERS or a labor attorney? On page 3 of the recommended actions, number 2 says all 16 paid holidays, but not the 20 unpaid vacation days, yet the previous proposed paid vacation days on page 3 says that it's for 12 positions. I mean, it's riddled with inconsistencies. By invoking these changes, the employees make an annual salary, but their per diem rate will go down. On the other document, which is called the appendices, it includes the salary schedule chart, blocking off 11 positions. However, one of the positions is the certified personnel technician, and that title was changed by your board vote to make that person the manager of certificated HR on February 21st, 2019. And that employee got a $19,500 pay increase. By voting, the board took off the tech job and no longer exists. And the child court coordinator says 210 days, not the 224. I respectfully that you reconsider these inconsistencies.
Thank you. It's the only card we had on to speak on this item. Want to address that?
We do have staff here as well.
Okay.
Kim, if you'd step forward as well as Jessica to help answer part of the narrative and why we're doing this now.
Thank you, Lola, for coming.
Yes, I'm going to refer to Ms. Lola to helping me explain this issue because this has been an ongoing issue and it's a very complex issue that we have and that we've been trying to resolve since I stepped into this chair, into this position. So the 260, as you can see, is on June 29, 1995, notification was made by the management salary schedule that the management salary schedule was changed from an annual salary to a per diem rate. Meanwhile, the leave schedules were not changed and vacation continued to accrue 20 days per year for classified management. We believe that this was a misguided attempt to match the classified management employees' calendars to certificated management employees' calendars. Kim?
Yes, and I agree with our previous speaker. It is very complex. That's why I took the time to try to write this out as clearly as I could, though I can understand there'd still be questions. Unfortunately, this is an issue we have been grappling with for 2 years. And the reason it keeps kind of sinking to the bottom being brought up is because we've had change in management, et cetera, and the few of us that have been here as the constants keep trying to bring it back to the top because we do need to resolve this. One of the main issues is because we do not have our classified management and confidential employees correctly identified as 260 annual. Every time we report pay to CalPERS, their service years are not being reported correctly. So yes, we have gone back to previous years and made sure everyone's schedule is correct. We've done an audit in each year to make sure there were no dockings or other circumstances that would have had them out for more time. They would have given them the 1-year service credit. It's all been cleaned up. But until we make the change to a 260 annual rate, we will continue to have to do this cleanup on and on. So that's one of the issues. That's been an ongoing issue and it will not correct itself. We have to keep cleaning this up until we can get our schedules corrected properly. The schedule that is referred to.
Kim, before you go into schedules, would you please verify a couple of things? This has been an ongoing issue since 1995, correct?
Yes, as far as we can tell, that was in the memo to change classified management to a per diem rate.
And why is this being brought forth now in July? Explain the time frame.
Okay, so the issue is that if we are going to make any kind of change to a salary schedule, it has to be made before the first regular pay in the first month of the fiscal year, which is this month. Once we've done that end of July pay, we'll have to wait another year to change any of these items that we choose to decide to vote on. So it's an annual thing, and unfortunately it is coming here last minute too. It's not by our choice, it's just circumstances. Yeah, like I said, it is something we've been trying to address for 2 years.
And the last question I think that helps clarify for Jessica is, has legal counsel been involved in these recommendations?
That's correct. Both DWK and AXA have been contacted to confirm the following information. Human classified 12-month employees should be on a 260-day paid work calendar.
Proceed with where you were going. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I just want to address the positions that are covered by the discussion today. I'm showing you the positions in whole. It does not mean that they all have an assignment. So for instance, it was brought up, and correctly so, that the personnel technicians are listed on here. These are not filled positions. These are two, and not in any intention to, at this point, to fill them, but they do belong on the salary schedule. That's why they're listed. Currently, it's 12 positions that have assignments, but one of them is currently vacant. So we're talking about 11 employees, 12 positions. There are 2 positions on here, or there's a position listed, personnel technician, that does not, at this time, has no assignments, no intention to have an assignment. But it belongs on this schedule, so it's included.
You can take questions from the board now.
Absolutely. I don't want to just keep talking. I want to be able to address your
Thank you. Member Martinez.
Yeah, so as I was going through the write-up, again, I am, as one of the speakers mentioned, there's the making sure we're classifying correctly, and then there's the, we'll call the comp side. Totally clear on making sure, you know, that we're classifying the days correctly. I am not clear on the comp, because you know, it looks like historically we have been paying out vacation. And so now there is a change in terms of how we'll call classify the hours and what the pay is. So I don't know net, what am I voting for? Am I voting for a pay increase versus an allotment of vacation and or PTO bucket, if you will? I don't have that clarity.
Okay, so this is described as 3 separate actions because there's different things that need to be addressed. And it's going to be up to the board to decide what you want to do. The first one is just to clear what we need to do to align to proper CalPERS positions. The second and third are both things to address, both actions to address ongoing issues. One is, it seems quite clear from not only our salary schedules as far back as we can see them, which is 2003 in our current escape system, and also the memo that we have from 1995 that there was intention to make classified employees per diem employees, which is not correct per the EDCO that I've also attached. So it seems there was that intention, which means we have not been, I shouldn't say we, which means, because I have not been in this position a long time, which means classified management confidential have not been paid vacation or holidays. it seems that's what the intent was, is to make them a pure diem, which is not correct for classified. At the same time, there was another error made. When this 1995 decision was made, as far back as we can go again, it appears they continue to accrue vacation. The vacation leave schedule were not changed, and that was not correct. So, even though the salary has not included those vacation, I'm just going to address vacation right now. It was being accrued for employees and shown on their pay stubs. And that's where the legalese comes in. So when people resign, retire, they would have this amount on their pay stub that was being accrued because the leave schedules are never changed. And there was an obligation to either let them take the time, which some did, paid out, which some did, or both. So the schedule that's there is the best information we can gather right now without going back many years to start and pull employee files. I can identify which actually has been paid out from 2003, which is over $300,000, as you can see. I can't even begin at this point without pulling a lot of records to determine how much was actually taken as vacation time. But that was because, again, in 1995, when this incorrect decision was made, they continued to do incorrect decisions, and there were these ongoing leave schedules running. So, we have people who've been grandfathered in or who are currently in these employees who went into these positions and have been in them for some years thinking they truly have that vacation time. And they think, when I leave, I'll either take some, I'll pay it out, whatever. So we're trying to address these 11 individuals, grandfather them into some kind of compromise, and then going forward, that will not be an issue anymore. We will change the leave schedule, and we will change the salary schedule so they're working together correctly. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Okay. The holidays are another issue. Again, by Ed Code, you can see classified employees must be paid holidays. And again, per that memo from 1995, if these employees were really being treated as per diem, they have not been paid for holidays all this time. So the compromise, they were hoping, rather than saying retro back a number of years or anything like that, was just going forward, let's add our 16 holidays and go forward. So those are the three pieces of the actions. It's a compromise, but it's a compromise that has been asked of some of these employees that are involved, and they are saying they are definitely willing to be going with this, and they'll be happy to move forward. They'd be grandfathered into some of the vacation as it's written, and then even going into the position going forward. They'll have a clean schedule.
Thank you. Member Gutierrez is next, and then Member Thomas.
Oh, no, I have no questions. I was going to say we have no questions. Move forward and vote.
You can make a motion if you want.
But she has questions. So.
Oh, did you want to?
Yeah, I'd like to understand more. These employees have been getting the salary to which they were expected to get. What they got in addition to that salary was a vacation that was not restricted going forward. So in other words, state law requires a cap on vacation accrual for employees, public employees.
As you can see, that's one of the things that's being built in.
Right.
That cap is reestablished.
And that cap is, for school districts, is 1.5, it's like 30 days. So these employees, what your document doesn't tell us is how much is the liability that we already have on the books for employees that have accrued over 30 days of vacation. So going forward, they will be shown to have vacation, and they will be shown to have these days, which in reality they already have gotten. They've already taken their vacation days, they've already had the holidays, they've gotten the salary to which they were expected to get. What I don't understand is why are we giving them a 7% increase over the salary that they now have, because they have been getting even, a benefit that they shouldn't have been getting, which is unlimited accrual of vacation time. The other issue is, have we checked with labor law attorneys to see because if they have accrued more, let's say they've accrued 100 days more than the 60. So they have 160 days. Those 160 days will be paid out. Does it have to be paid out at the rate they'll be in another 10 years when they retire? You know, I mean, that's a huge benefit that I can understand they would want to keep. But can we freeze their vacation right now at the rate of their salary right now? Can we legally do that? I think there's so many, this is so complex and there's so many items that I don't think DWK is the attorney that deals with labor law. And I would really feel that we need to have a labor law attorney tell us how we can freeze where they are now, but not accrue for future liabilities for every increase they get between now and when they retire. It's just, and I just don't, I can't agree with the 7% increase because they're getting the salary that they're supposed to, that $114,000, even on the agenda it says you're paying that out of the ending fund balance. That leads you to believe that it's one-time money. I mean, ending fund balance is one-time money. You're talking about $114,000 ongoing in increased salary for these 11 individuals that we don't have. We are deficit spending. And is this kind of a consolation because they're not going to get this big payout when they retire? It just doesn't feel right to me, the whole thing and the whole way we're trying to fix it.
Thank you. Did you want to, staff, based on Member Thomas's comments, you still want to move forward with this, or do we want to?
I think we're going based on legal recommendation. I think the board should take
And
action.
legal has
Yes or
looked at
no.
it? Okay.
Yes. However you want to do it.
Need a motion?
I move that we vote on this.
A second?
I move that we vote on this.
Open for voting.
Who made the
there's-
motion? My voice, who made
The motion is Member Gutierrez and I second. The student member, everything is personnel, so we can't vote on this, but you can definitely talk on it if you want to. Okay. Okay. Please vote. Okay, motion passes?
No,
Well,
no.
it fails.
No, I'm sorry, the motion does not pass.
Okay. Thank you.
So we bring it back at the first meeting in August?
We would have to bring this back a year out, is my understanding from, Kim, are you here?
We can bring it back
It
as
would-
soon as we need to.
with the board's concerns
Get
and-
it resolved by the
Okay.
end of next June.
Okay, we'll get further legal
Excuse
opinion.
me, may I ask a question? Does that mean that we have to keep accruing vacation for another year, that legally we cannot not? I mean, is that, can we talk to, maybe have a legal?
Member Thomas, I'm sorry, but I believe that was the reason we have questions beforehand.
Right.
And
I agree.
and I'm sorry, but this is why these things get dragged
And
out.
that's,
If I may offer a suggestion,
well, no,
we can have
because
legal
she's
come to
addressing
close.
staff and she shouldn't be. She should be addressing the superintendent.
We can
Okay.
have legal come to closed
Okay.
at a future meeting
Okay.
to help get more information.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to do the high school principal first because we have a couple of board members that might have to leave.
Okay.
If that's okay.
I'll see for both.
Are you okay? Okay, so we got 7.1, there's nobody to speak on it. We need a motion and a second. The appointment of principal for Lincoln Elementary.
I move that we vote.
Member Gutierrez moves.
I second.
7.1.
7.1,
Elementary principal.
elementary principal in Lincoln.
Or do we need any the candidate or like to speak?
There's
Or-
no.
There's no.
But she's going to
Okay.
speak.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
May I, my apologies. Can we slow just a moment?
Yeah.
Who motioned and who seconded? I
Member
totally
Gutierrez made
lost.
the motion, Member Jean
Okay, thank you.
seconds.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
Anybody want to speak on this?
Are we go through the vote?
Yes, at this time, staff would like to recommend Lisa Day Rica Perez as the new principal of Lincoln Elementary.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Please vote. Okay, motion passes 5 ayes.
Okay.
7.2, Ms. Parks?
Can we introduce her?
Is she here?
She is not here.
Oh, she's not here.
Neither candidate's here.
But you can still, can you say something about her, Jessica, if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
Let's see, she was interested in applying for the elementary principal position. She has recently completed her preliminary administrative credential as of June of last year. She's taking classes in California School Law, Budgeting Supervision, and Staff Development. Ms. Rinka Perez has 17 years as a teacher and as an educational leader at her school. In the past 5 years, she had the opportunity to develop her leadership skills. 2 of those years, she played an integral role as a principal designee currently at Lincoln Elementary, and it's really welcoming the opportunity to become the new leader.
Thank you. And she'll be at the August...
She will most definitely be there at the
Right,
August.
okay, great. Thank you much. Okay, Ms. Parks, 7.2, high school principal.
Good morning again, just barely. Just wanted to get some clarification. You had been going back and forth with titles and job and salary range. So I just wanted to confirm that this job description is the original high school principal job description and that the salary range did not change. And then I would also like to ask what the selection process was. I know that previously you've gone through different, there's been descriptions of the process that was entailed, and I just wanted to know what process this went under, because there were people that said that they weren't involved, that had been involved before with the other, and I just wanted to get clarification for those that are asking too, because there's a lot of shock that this moved so quickly, and so if you could just get that explained so that it could be shared out. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent?
Sure, I can certainly, you want me to answer questions? The process was pretty basic. We had 2 candidates that we scheduled to interview this morning. Both were qualified, both had experience. One candidate did drop out. We interviewed the other candidate and felt strongly that she was a good fit, and therefore we're bringing forward a recommendation for hire. If we felt this person wasn't a good fit, we wouldn't have made the recommendation. I would have pulled it from the agenda this morning. So the people that were in the interview were myself, Associate Superintendent Salinas, Executive Director Saavedra, which is pretty common in the summer. In the summertime, it's a difficult time to get staff to come in. And we're also up against the timeline. I really would love to have the school start with the principal and not miss a beat, start kicking off the year. So that was really the process. We finished interviews this morning, and I'm glad that we found a candidate that's strong, that fits the criteria, that I think will move the school in the right direction, and has had experience in stepping into a school that was unstable for 2 or 3 years with the turnover of principals, and brought stability for a tenure of 10 years as a high school principal. So I feel good about the candidate, and I think that that's what I would share with you about the process and how we came to this conclusion.
Now, we did have a remember, just give me 1 second. We did have a process where we went through an extensive process for the principal, and no one was selected or
Correct.
forward. Right?
That's correct.
And you, as superintendent, you can bring this forward, especially during the summer where we need something done by August. Is that basically what you're saying?
That's correct.
Without going through another process.
That's correct.
Member Martina?
That was just going to reiterate my request and to your comments, President Rodriguez. We have had a process that we've been following in the last couple of months. I recognize the urgency. I recognize that we all want somebody to start at the beginning of the school year. My concern is that we don't have the voice that we've all been insisting. At least I know that I have been very vocal about making sure we have community input, we have staff input as well. So that is my main concern with this.
Okay.
With no further questions, I ask that we move to take a vote on this.
Okay. I second. Member Gutierrez moves. Member Rodriguez seconds. No other questions, comments? Let's vote, please. Okay, motion passes, 4 ayes. And Member Martinez, if you've already expressed your reason for the no.
President Rodriguez, is it okay if I share
Yes,
something?
go ahead, share with us about this individual, please.
Okay, her name is Shamar Edwards. She has 18 years of experience in education as a site administrator and teacher. She has created and sustained multiple signature programs at her current school district, innovating, building teacher capacity, and challenging the status quo on behalf of all students captures her body of work. Under her most recent tenure, she had the pleasure of being the founding executive director for a new innovative STEM school, modeling their program after the signature P-Tech schools of New York. She also comes with a decade of experience as a high school principal where her A through G eligibility increased by 30%. Her enrollment increased by 30%, from 30% to 70%, equitably reflecting the demographics of her current school. Her API at that time grew by 82 points over a 6-year period. Her work is to implement Common Core, NGSS, authentic assessments, and learning targets served as an emphasis for her instructional priorities.
Thank you. Superintendent, just from my point of view, having kids going through high school, and Ms. Bonright and my kids went to school with her, and next to the superintendent, the high school principal is the next most important job, in my opinion, in the school district. Basically a mayor of a small city, and last year we were excited about the new principal. It didn't work out, and we can't get into those reasons. I just want to make sure we get it right, and it is so important that we have somebody in there that, and I hope the whole board will support the decision, and this person needs all of us on board, and to make sure that she understands that she's, has the support of the board and the superintendent.
And if I could just respond to you and to the public for the record, me of all people is very aware of the accountability of making a wrong decision here. Personally, I have high accountability with a wrong selection. If I got this wrong, I know that I will suffer the consequences. I'm very aware of that. I feel this person is the right fit, has the right experience, and will bring that team together, and hopefully, not hopefully, but I think has the experience in being able to do so, and seeing that replicated again through our district would be powerful. And I understand concerns, and I appreciate Member Martinez's comments, and I'm glad she votes her conscience. I appreciate that, and I think that regardless, I know we all want to see the high school be successful. There's no question in my mind, but I do want the board and the community to know this is not a decision that is not weighing on me heavily, and I know it affects me, and I know it affects my performance as well. So I'm very aware of that. Thank you.
Member Jean?
Yeah, just want to go back to the accountability we're talking about. That the superintendent is well aware that next year in your contract there will be what we said, clear, well-defined, measurable metrics. And when it comes to high school principal, obviously I would expect you to pass down those performance metrics onto the principal, because you're right that her performance will very well determine your future in this district.
Okay.
I'm clear about that. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, it is 12:07. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.